Hi guys, Mary Ginger here. Today I am making a monster laundry bag. I am using an old fleece robe that I picked up at a thrift store and I washed it. And I'm gonna use pinking shears to cut out the body of the bag. Okay, so you'll see what I did here is I cut this part already. And now I'm just gonna cut around here. This will be for the head and the front of the bag. Cut out the bottom front of the bag. For the lining, I am using red flannel. To save some time, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out this pocket just the way it is and use it as the fish fin. I only had one pocket, so I went ahead and traced out 2 more copies so that I could make a second fin, one for either side of the monster bag. For the feet, I am using red, and I'm gonna do 3 feet for this bag. So we've got the ears, and the nose, and the small belly. We will need 1 nose, 1 belly, and 4 ears. I will use regular straight scissors to cut out the belly and the mouse nose. Pinking shears for the ears. For the eyes, I am using flannel and more of the fleece from the bathrobe. And I will be using straight scissors. This is what we have so far for our monster design. Do not forget that we need a loop of fabric here so that we can hang it on the wall. Okay, I'm going to embroider the eyes. I will be using a number 3, just a normal zigzag stitch. I want my stitch length to be 1 1/2. I want my zigzag to be on a 2. Alright, so that's the nose. I think I'm going to keep it. I think that's good enough. Calling it done. Okay, for doing the bat ears, the paws, and the feet, or the fins and the feet, we will be switching to a decent size. So let's go to a 3. And we will be swapping down to a straight stitch 2. We are positioning our needle all the way to the right. This is the tie. It is about 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches long and 2 inches wide. I am setting my seam allowance to 3/8 here. To get even placement for your loop, I folded over the back of our bag in half, so I matched up the edges here. And now I'm just gonna pin one end here and then loop it around and match it up on the other side. like so. Now you have a loop so you can hang up your laundry bag. Sewing the belly onto the front. With right sides facing, we're going to go ahead and sew up the ears, leaving this gap here so we can invert them. This is the ear. I did have a little mishap here, and it's a little misshapen, but I think it'll give the monster some character. And I recut with my pinking shears to give it a nice narrow edge. And this is that first ear. Let's go ahead and do the second one. I have my machine set to the right needle position. My stitch length is a 3, and I am on a straight stitch. And here are our quirky monster ears. And only on one side I'm going to pinch, like so, and then make a dart. There's the dart. Now I'm going to put it inside in, and you'll see what it looks like. Just like that. It gives it a little extra curve and a little more realism. Right sides together, we are sewing the fin, and I am doing a 3/8 of an inch seam. I have it set to all the way to the right, and I have it set on a size 3 stitch, and we are just doing a straight stitch. We're going to work on the feet next. This is the front of a foot, and we are going to sew from the ankle all the way to the toe, and this is going to create the illusion of bones. I have my machine set at a stitch 3, a straight stitch, and all the way to the right. I am using the foot side as my guide for my seam allowance. And there you go. When you open it up, you can see how it's got a bone in the center, and then we will follow up and do a bone on this side right at the point. We're going to fold it, match the edges, and sew to this center here. Stop once you get to, and you can see how we've got another toe, and we will do the third toe over here on this side. There you go, that is our foot. So we're going to repeat that on 2 more front feet, and then we will sew our feet together. With right sides together, we are going to sew around the perimeter, leaving a gap at the ankle. Using your pinking shears, trim a narrow edge. Here is our completed foot. If you wanted to, you could do either a batting or some stuffing inside, but I like floppy feet. So we've pinned our ears to the face, and we will just sew right here, and again to lock it, right here, and again. Make sure that you have your crease side down when you sew your ears. And now our bag has ears. When pinning feet to the fuzzy back, pin them right side facing up. I did it wrong here, so I had to resew. With right sides together, sew around the perimeter of the lining. Using 3/8 seam allowance, and I'm also using a 2.5 size stitch. We did leave an extra seam allowance for here, but because we are lining the bag and adding lips, I'm going to trim off the excess seam allowance right now. I have it pinned really well, and I have the ears tucked in and all of my limbs and the hanger all tucked inside, and I'm just going to sew around the edge using 3/8 of a seam allowance. I'm going to up my stitch length to 3.5. So what I'm doing here is I've got wrong sides facing. So you've got your inside seams facing. I matched up my zigzag edges, and now I am covering the edges with my pink strip of fleece, and I'm securing with pins. I have my machine set at a zigzag stitch, a length of 2, and I have it on the full width, which is a 5. So this is the mouth. We've got the lip on.
He got a budget.
You can see the underside is done really well as well. If you wanted to, you could trim off that, but I think I'm just going to leave it. And there's the first lip. Now we just have to do the bottom lip, and we are almost done with our bag. Woohoo! Do a little whip stitch around. Make sure you catch some of this ear, this inside ear seam on both sides, and that will prevent the lining from hanging down. These are the tacks that I did just to make sure the lining didn't hang down. One side underneath the ear and the seam allowance, and the other side underneath the ear and the seam allowance, through the seam allowances. Thanks for watching!